A country's most valuable resource is its people. Therefore, investing in education should be a priority for all developing nations. Being a British colony up until 1981, Belize's educational system inherited the British system of education, but it was also strongly influenced by the U.S. academic syllabus through the participation and initiative of the Jesuits then living in Belize. Today, the education system of Belize is divided into three levels: primary education, secondary education, and tertiary education. It comprises of 604 institutions established across the 6 districts of Belize and 5,521 teachers across the educational levels. In Belize, today, there are 105,308 students enrolled from preschool to university level. Although each level in the education system differs regarding governance, funding, curriculum, training of teachers, and assessment and evaluation, in Belize, all educational institutions are governed by the Education and Training Act 2010, the Education Rules 2000, and the Education Amendment Rules of 2012. These documents provide the legislative framework for the efficient and equitable delivery of quality education in Belize. As the main education authority in the country, the Ministry of Education has many responsibilities. Of great priority is its responsibility to monitor the quality and effectiveness of education in all the levels and sectors of the educational system. To carry out its responsibility, the ministry has several regulating bodies. Of these, the Belize Teaching Service Commission is the one which closely works with the tertiary institutions. Under its guidance, the Commission's Secretariat enforces standards for entry into teaching to assure the quality and status of Belize teaching force and the quality of the delivery of education. Education in Belize has certainly come a long way, especially at the tertiary level. History notes that since its inception in the 1950s, higher education provided Belizeans the opportunity to earn an associate degree. In 1952, the first 2-year higher education institution known as St. John's Sixth Form opened its door to the Belizean population. Today, there are 11 junior colleges and 3 universities in the country of Belize. These institutions offer programs of studies in various areas. Together, the 11 junior colleges and 3 institutions form the Association of Tertiary Level Institutions in Belize, known as ATLIB. Its mission is the promotion and development of member tertiary level educational institutions as strong partners in the development of Belize in collaboration with other public and private sector partners. All institutions in Belize, regardless of difference in their goals, structure, management, human resource, and financing, are governed by the Education and Training Act 2010, the Education Rules 2000, and the Education Amendment Rules 2012. While the legislative framework does apply to primary and secondary education, in various aspects it does not apply to the tertiary level institutions. ATLIB, along with other stakeholders, have repeatedly voiced the need for a formal national higher education policy which can guide the strategic planning and management of Belizean higher education. In Belize, all teachers are required to possess a valid teacher's license to teach at the primary and secondary levels. This rule, before it was amended, did include tertiary level teachers, but because it met resistance from different stakeholders, it has been put on hold. While most teachers in higher education are specialized in the area they teach, most of them have little or no pedagogical preparation. Funding of institutions by government is dependent on the type and level of institutions. Government-established institutions at the primary, secondary, and tertiary levels receive 100% funding. Denominational or grant-aided institutions at the primary level receive 100% funding towards teachers' salaries. Denominational or grant-aided secondary institutions receive funding dependent on the number of students enrolled at the institution. Denominational or grant-aided tertiary institutions receive only 70% funding towards teachers' salaries. While the regulating body of the Ministry of Education, known as QUADS, diligently works towards improving the quality of education in Belize, their focus continues to address the needs of both the primary and secondary levels. As a result, higher education institutions have received minimal support towards quality assurance. As noted by Villanueva, this leaves education planning uncoordinated, institutions unregulated, and institutional leaders generally free to adopt the institution policies and practices they deem necessary or convenient. The curriculum for preschool and primary school in Belize has been standardized. Presently, the secondary institutions nationwide are involved in a project to standardize secondary curriculum. A reform to standardized curriculum at the tertiary level can seriously impact Belize's economy and the existence of the junior colleges. Junior colleges in the various districts emerge as a result of individual institutions recognizing the local needs of their community and responding to it. As noted by Kaplan and Lee, the structure and processes for higher education governance differ from those of elementary and secondary education. Most junior colleges in Belize emerge from high schools. As a result, both the high school and junior college divisions that belong to the same proprietor are governed by one board and share the funding provided by government. These evidence clearly demonstrate that there is a dire need for a national tertiary education policy for Belize. As noted by AIRD, there are currently no regulatory mechanisms guiding the program development, approval, and monitoring and requiring public accountability for junior colleges. The need for a national tertiary education policy for Belize has been voiced by many stakeholders, and several attempts have been made in drafting a Tertiary Education Policy Act, but none were ratified. In the absence of a national education policy, interested stakeholders of higher education in Belize continue to advocate for the formation of an accreditation body. As noted by AIRD, there is no institution of higher education in Belize that has been accredited by an external accrediting body. While most of the various institutions' programs are recognized nationally and internationally, there is no systematic evaluation that is done to assure quality. Despite the passing of the National Accreditation Council of Belize Act in November of 2004 and it being signed into law in January of 2005, to date no council has been formed. To add, the law does not even appear in the Education and Training Act of 2012. The absence of a council leaves the assurance of quality of education in the hands of each individual institution, which in most cases is dependent on its interest to accomplish its mission and on the vision of its leadership. What are we at St. John's College Junior College doing towards quality assurance? For 131 years, St. John's College has been graduating students that today hold many leadership positions in various sectors nationally and internationally. Our junior college has a published handbook of policies and procedures for both students and faculty. Being a member of the Jesuit Central and Southern Province, our relationships with our sister universities have benefited many Belizeans, as these universities have helped in formalizing and strengthening of new and present programs. Our graduates continue to receive scholarship from various accredited institutions, and our program credits are recognized by many international institutions. Our programs are designed to accommodate the demand needs of our nation and of the global market, as well as to prepare students to sit the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination. Since 2007, out of 11 scholarships awarded by the government for the highest achiever in the CAPE examination, 8 of these scholarships have been awarded to a St. John's College Junior College graduate. Currently, we are involved in the process of program review, which is done every 5 years. As a Jesuit college, last year we were involved in the process of an institutional self-study to examine how we as a school are addressing our Jesuit mission. While the challenges in higher education will continue to emerge, as professionals in the field of education, it is our individual responsibility to assure that students receive the necessary knowledge as well as exposure and experiences that will prepare them to address the demands and needs of our ever-changing society.